Hey, Randy here, Realtor Collective, and I've got another incredible guest on this stage, the Realtor Collective stage. This man has changed lives. I mean, changed lives literally. Not only in his own business of real estate, but changing lives in other people's business. He's a business coach, he's a real estate coach. He's really done it all. Built a team, sold thousands of homes, earned millions and millions of dollars, and now he says, listen, I got to help others find a better way to do this thing called real estate. His company is called The Agent Within, which is really about how do you create a life worth living and doing real estate. So our guest on this stage, Ben Oosterveld, and Ben is going to blow your mind. Here we go!
In a world where agents don't get paid until they make the next sale, it's easy to get lost in short-term thinking when real money is made with a long-term mindset. A business coach became a real estate agent to prove a point. This business can be done in a different way. He built and sold an award-winning real estate company while running a national coaching business because he didn't want to tell them, he wanted to show them. But his life wasn't always Instagram worthy. He's known homelessness, lived on the streets from the age of 14, and later spent 365 days in rehab. He sees through the illusions that preoccupy most people and cuts through the BS that limits their freedom. Today, he's a keynote speaker, entrepreneur, business coach, best-selling author, a father of 5, and a mid-level men's league hockey player. Let's give it up for Ben Oosterveld.
So everyone that comes to events, they think, oh, if I could just get a gold nugget. And I just think, like, that's all you want? How many things have you learned and not done anything with? Like, think about it. I don't want to do that today. I don't want to come here and be competing with Google. I don't want to do that. I got kids at home. I got things to do. And I just want to say today, I want to see mind shifts. If I can change your perspective, you're going to see major things change in your life. If I teach you something new, I'm competing with Google. Let's break this down. Think about it, guys. How many online courses have you done and done nothing with it? How about ketos? Ice baths? Did you start that one? How about meditation, door knocking, lead gen, Facebook ads, breath work? Hey, that sounds cool. Let's do that this week. Journaling, no sugar. You know, that works for about 4 weeks. Start a podcast, write a newsletter, weekly lives. Oh, got to do my weekly lives. Okay, awesome. Interview businesses, become the mayor of your town. Should I keep going? How many things are you doing, not learning? This is massive. We need to shift this thinking, guys, if you're going to get to where you want to go. And it's not going to be learning new knowledge. So why am I here? Why are you even watching this? You probably learned something really good already. Maybe you should take some action on something you did last month, last webinar, last course. Just take some action on it and you might actually do it. So I'm here to actually talk to you about why you're not doing what you should actually do. This is everything. Why are you not getting the results? Why are you not making the calls? Why are you not hiring that assistant? Why aren't you fixing your aftercare system? The why question, that's what we're going to tackle today. If you take a look at Google, if you look at this, 170,000 results to the search, prospecting ideas for real estate agents. We don't need more ideas. It's all here. Why are we doing it? So guys, just real quick here, if you go to my Instagram, it's at Ben Oosterveld. Take a look. Anyone that sees this event, I'm giving them a free copy of my PDF book. It'll be for you. It's called The Richest Real Estate Agent. But just so you know, that was me speaking to the ego because 90% of agents need that ego touched. So The Richest Real Estate Agent, the real title is How to Build a 7-Figure Business Without Sacrificing Your Relationships. The relationships with your past clients and the relationships at home. That's the business. This is a human development, mindset, business coaching book. Just happens to be targeting real estate agents. There's been so many times in my life that a shift in my perspective changed everything. I'm going to tell you a story. There was this lady, she was typical real estate, eh? She's got a 3-bedroom, 2-house bungalow, but she's sitting there and she says, and she just absolutely loved entertaining in the backyard. She's one of these people person. She goes to the backyard, she's got this beautiful area, and she'd host barbecues. And then what happened one day, she was walking out the back, and the corner of her eye, she saw a snake in the grass, a green one. She lost her mind. She then created this limiting mindset that said, I won't be doing that again. That didn't work. No way. And she sits down and she says, I will never go back there again. So years go by and you've got this. She looks outside. She's sad. She can't go entertain. She can't do the barbecuing. She's missing out on the life that she really, really wanted to live with this beautiful house that she had. One day I remember actually, let me jump a little bit. I'm ADD, dyslexic, all kinds of problems, so you have to go with me. But I remember my mentor would always say, his name is Philip McKernan, and what he'd always say is when the pain is enough, we change. And the days got by where she's lonely, she's anxiety and depressed, and it just said, I'm done with this. She says, I'm going to take this battle on. I'm going to go get that snake so I can get my freaking life back. So she goes and grabs this rake, puts on a thick jacket, and she's like, I'm taking this thing on, rubber boots, because she's going to get bit in her mind. She then walks to the back corner, and that's where it'd been sitting. And she starts going through the grass, opening it up. And she's so scared, her legs are shaking, but she's facing this thing. She goes to the back corner, and then she stops. How stupid, she says. She pulls back the grass, and it's a gardening hose. This whole entire time, her life was stopped. She was limited because she had a belief system that there was a threat in the backyard when it wasn't. Her shift changed, and once she saw the truth, she could never go back to thinking that's scary. In a moment, her life was given back to her. She cut the grass and started barbecuing. She got rid of depression, anxiety, started living the life that she wanted to live. In a moment, your life can change. We don't need new knowledge. We don't need new knowledge. We don't need new knowledge. We need a new perspective. We need to see things differently. We all know how to lose 10 pounds. I bet you right now we could bring everyone up that's watching and say, teach us how to lose 10 pounds. And guess what we'd all do? We'd all be experts at it. Every single person's got 10 pounds. Oh, even the skinniest little buggers out there at 10 pounds. I'm like, that's the size of my leg, but they're still, for some reason, 10 pounds. The thing is, why are they not losing the 10 pounds? And why all the knowledge, the keto, the LA fitness, or whatever you're doing for those 10 pounds, you try them all and it doesn't work. It reminds me of time blocking, consistent social media posting. You do all these things, but like, why are they not doing it? Do you know what it is? It's the motivation. It's that you're usually chasing money. You're usually chasing your father's or mother's goals. You're usually chasing your wife's goals. You're usually sitting there going, I should do this if I'm an agent. I should do this if I should. But what do you want? This is the question that needs to be asked. What do you want? You have everything inside. My company is called Agent from Within. You have the answers. I don't. It's about pulling them out of you. So let's imagine now, how can we get motivated to lose 10 pounds? Guess what? A diabetes warning. You go to the doctor and guess what? The guy goes, you better lose 10 pounds or you're getting diabetes. Guess what happens? 10 pounds done in 2 weeks. Done. I'm obsessed with that moment. What is the moment that's going to trigger you to get what you want? And what I find is you're chasing the wrong goals. You're chasing GCI, you're chasing your mom and dad's goals, and maybe your religion's goals, maybe your friends' goals, and maybe your culture's goals. The question is, none of those are wrong, but what is yours? This is the answers. The thing is, over years and years of coaching, like 15, 20 years, I lived on the streets first. Let me just ADD for a second. I lived on the streets. I was abused as a child. I didn't feel loved. I was a broken person. I got out of rehab when I was about 19 years old and just to try to build a life. But through my journey is getting myself in my own way over and over and over again, I got obsessed with human behavior, fixing myself. And I went through so much stuff, and I've absolutely transformed myself into a normal human being. Well, I'm not normal, trust me, but I'm pretty like, positively impacting the community kind of guy. But what I'm trying to say is this, is what I learned through all of the self-discovery is the problem we present is not the problem we have. For example, you want to prospect, right? If I could just know how to prospect, which lead gen, which CRM, if I just know I got to make the calls. The problem is, it's like, why are you not making the calls? It's not that you don't want to call someone. That's not the problem. The problem is you're trying to be prospecting without feeling bad, without being rejected, without looking stupid, and without annoying people. See, when you go out and go, I'm going to prospect, this is an emotional friction. This is not a practical. So you can learn 50 scripts. You can learn all the objection tricks. You can do all of the tools and take every course you want, but you have to get to the place where you're willing to feel down, you're willing to feel rejected. So what do we do in our life? That's a confidence issue. That's a self-worth issue. That's a human issue. This is not a sales problem. It's a human problem. I am so obsessed with this because I was a sales trainer, business coach, and I dominated. I bought 41 properties in 14 months once. I did $2.5 million of selling office furniture. When I became an agent, I was rookie of the year. I made almost $500,000 my first year. 1 month, I had a $96,000 month in my first year in Edmonton. People that know where that is, it's cheap commissions, like $5,000, $6,000. Did a lot of business. The thing is, though, this is coming from the emotional development, the emotional IQ, and I'm not saying I'm some superpower, but I know me, and I'm not scared of you. That's a huge advantage. I don't care if you like me. I could give a shit. I desperately want you to because I'm a little boy inside that just wants to be loved still. But I don't get scared of feeling bad anymore. If you don't like me, you're not my people. It is the most powerful thing. I'm going to be me, and I'm going to attract the people that are going to want to be with me. It is an absolute huge thing. So guess what, though? I still don't like getting rejected. I still don't like looking stupid. I don't like annoying people. Hey, do you want to buy something from me? It's sick feeling. But there's a way to do this with relationship, and I'm going to show you guys this. How you want to break through. Here's a technique for you guys. If you want to break through your bullshit excuses, you want to break through the stories we tell ourselves. Well, I'm just not a people person, or, I'm just not on the phone. Like, we have these stories that create the barrier to your success. And I don't want to go after technique or strategy. Let's go after your internal barrier. So what happens is, now this is going to be a little bit aggressive, okay? But go with me. You've got someone that you love. They're in a hostage situation, guns to the head. If you don't find a sale, if you don't hire an assistant, if you don't get your CRM done, whatever's sitting, not getting done, they're going to die unless you solve that problem in 24 hours. Could you do it? Of course you could. There's never been a human being that I've asked that question to that they didn't know how to actually do it. How to do it is where we get stuck because you already know how. Gun to head, do the test. Am I lying to myself? Am I actually holding myself back? So in 2008, when I was a real estate investor, I wasn't a real estate agent. I wasn't even a business coach. 2008, I had 61 properties. We hit the crash. We went through this process where I remember sitting, and it was pretty intense. We had 61 properties, millions and millions of dollars of people's money, and all of a sudden this crash happened. It was one of the most hardest things I've ever had to go through in my 20s. I couldn't believe what I was going through. We had great investments, but now we have people saying, can we have our money? I'm like, I can't give it to you. As a people pleaser, that's really hard. As a man that used to be scared of letting people down, it destroyed me. But guess what? We navigated it, and we honored so much of what we did. But here's the lesson we learned. We watched the real estate agents during this time. See, my perspective was a big real estate investor. We had agents in 4 or 5 different cities that we used. And guess what? During the crash is when we started seeing behavioral changes with the real estate agents that worked for us. There was such a contrasting behavior when the market was really hot versus when the market was not. When you seen the behaviors, what happened was I bought 16 condos in one shot one time with a group of our investors. One real estate agent collected the commission on 16 properties. It was well over $100,000 and not even a thank you card. She was a beautiful person, amazing agent, super trustworthy, and did the job well. worked hard and served well and trustworthy. Yeah, but you could have just said you made me $100,000. Could have just said thank you. You could have just understand and you recognize that there's something there that we just gave you this. I don't need to be wined and dined, but it blew my mind. And that was the day I said, if I was ever an agent, I will dominate this game because I'll do it through thoughtfulness and I'll do it through human connection. She was a great agent, but she missed human connection. I never used her again my whole career. But then the market changed. Oh, the deals aren't there. Guess what? Listings aren't selling. Money's not flowing. All of a sudden, you got to actually do the job of an agent. And guess what happens? Hey, Ben, want to go for coffee? What do you mean go for coffee? Where the hell were you, dude? I was ready. I had investments. I had all kinds, but you don't even send me a note? I'm like the guy. We're buying hundreds of things. We're buying, well, not hundreds, we're buying 10s and 20 properties at a time. You could have just maybe went for coffee back then. Oh, yeah, you were too busy. So what happens in that is this. When the market changes, guess what happens? No one's asking, how do I get business? How do I grow with my business? The behavior changes. Everyone's doing pop buys. Everyone's doing consistent social media. When the market's down, boy, that Motivation Monday sure shows up. Motivation Mondays until it gets busy and then those guys disappear again. Monthly newsletter, well, we got time. We should probably nurture our base. They know how to do it. They do the thank you cards now. They got time. Guess what? I guess I should do a thank you card. But when the money's easy, guess what? It hides your sins and you think you're good. Oh, better do our daily prospecting. Oh, this is great. Hey, let's start a local podcast. Awesome. Let's go networking. Let's go coffee with clients. Start a Facebook group. Everyone knows what to do. But then you're like, well, I better take a seminar to learn what to do. It's totally schizophrenic. You freaking know what to do. Within, you need to listen right here. You know what to do. That's the wrong question. You have to ask yourself, what should I do? The advice is not working. It's always an emotional friction. If your practical solution is not working, if your time blocking is not working, if your door knocking is not working, whatever you're doing, it is always an emotional friction. If you want to win this game, you understand yourself. You understand why you're holding yourself back. Why are you not doing what you already know how to do? There was a study done. His name is Jay Niblick. I heard him speak years ago. He's been on my podcast, I think a couple times now. And this study is something that has been defining to everything I do. Jay took 7 years, hundreds of thousands of business owners, analyzed with psychometric, psychology, surveys, all kinds, huge study, massive, to figure out the common denominators in success. What he found, he said, was almost disappointing. So if you could take a second and think about that right now. What would we think success common denominators are? So here's the thing. When you go to Indigo or Chapters or Amazon and you type in business success books, you're going to get David Goggins. What else are you going to get? Business planning. You're going to get finance. You're going to get marketing. You're going to get all these things. The thank you economy. All of these things come up. But you know what doesn't come up? These two words. Self-awareness and authenticity. So you're telling me, Ben, that I just have to be myself, loud and proud, and not be perfect, just be myself. And whoever I am, that's the key to the mega success. And we're talking about the 200 million plus. This was the level 5 level 5 genius level. And that's what they called it. The book's called What's Your Genius? And the highest level was $200 million plus. By the way, if you want to be a $1 million agent, I just want to smash something. It's such bullshit. Is that imagine if you made $950,000 in a 12-month period and you walk away disappointed because you're not a $1 million agent because some bullshit 12-month rule. Who made that bullshit rule up anyways? Why not do it in 13 months? I'm a $1 million agent. Well, I'm not really. I did it in 12. Well, I took 13. It's stupid. Holy shit, we're getting stuck on dumb stuff. So here's the deal. If you make $250,000 4 times in a row, you are a $1 million agent. Let's change the game, guys. The pressure's too high. $1 million a year is crazy. You know how hard that is? But why not 13 months? Like, why not 15 months? Why not 24 months? Why not 48 months? $1 million agent is someone that actually sells $1 million, okay? Just think it differently. So first of all, self-awareness. If you can be yourself, you're going to be trustworthy. This is trust. See, the problem is self-awareness. I'll give you an example. I remember one time I was actually pretty tough-minded and stubborn and blind and unself-aware, and I had my mentor, Philip McKernan. I remember being in a room, in a mastermind room. We had time, called it the hot seat. We'd draw out our life, be like, okay. And I was such a manipulative sales person that I could control the room. And I said, I want help, everyone, and there's a lot of really amazing people. I want help. And then when someone would say something to me, I would talk them into saying, oh, yeah, that's cool, but you don't quite understand my situation. And I would work through all of these people, and I would sit there stuck saying, why isn't it working? Guys, I am open. I remember Philip getting so pissed off that day. He looks at me and he goes, you're the most close fucking guy I know. Self-awareness. I realized I wasn't listening. I realized I was manipulating, I was controlling the room, and I was trying to get the answer that I wanted from every single person around me. I changed my life in one moment. Made me feel real bad because I was not the best. And it gave me a journey through it. We don't want to face reality because you know what? That feels gross. Swallow a cactus. It's terrible. But it's actually the pathway to freedom. So if we're avoiding feeling bad, stay stuck. You have to be okay with feeling bad a little bit because guess what? I was. Didn't like that characteristic. So those are the lessons. I've got 100 of those, trust me. But I hunt those now. I hunt them down and put me in situations that absolutely uncover who I really am. I want to know who I am so I can make a change in my life or double down on these good things in my life. But here's the thing. Now that I'm talking about it, that means I'm authentic. See, if you can understand who you are, but you're still hiding your stuff, that's a hard price. When you meet someone that's saying always wears a suit, I don't trust you. If you got a stain on your shirt, I'd probably trust you more than someone that's perfect all the time. You understand? Think about this. Think about that. If you found like a beautiful perfume and you smell it, you lean in. Oh. But when you, say you picked up a piece of dog crap and you gave it a whiff, it's gross, I know. But what if your face, what would happen? We'd have this reaction. Do you know what fake people feel like? That. Like dog shit. It stinks. And now some of them are so perfectly packaged. But you get close enough, you can see it. The more you're self-aware, the more authentic, you can see right through it. And our goal is to smell nice. Our goal is to create a magnetic force. This is hard. This is not strategy, but you have to understand a 7-year study. These are the only two things that caused the 200 million plus people. How did Donald Trump get voted in with the shit he said? Think about this. Do you know why? He was who he was. If there was anyone else that had the level of authenticity, he probably wouldn't have won back in the day. He said things that were like, how the hell is this guy? The world is desperate for real. To the point they'll put this guy in charge. Look, I got some pros and cons, okay? I'm not political, but it's a really good example and a really contrasting human that got voted in and ignored all the problems. That's the secret in being an agent. You don't have to be perfect, you got to be real. They're not going to ditch someone that they feel connected to, that they can trust. If you show up and you're trying to be perfect, that means you're going to have to be perfect for the next 20 years in that relationship. It's a performance-based relationship. Man, if my wife wanted me to be perfect, we would have been gone a long time ago. Why the hell does she stay with me? Why is she so deeply in love with me? Why? And why am I with her? She's not perfect either. This is the answer to building relationship business. You need to connect to human beings, but guess what? My wife knows the good, bad, and ugly with me, and I know hers. Why does it work? Think about it, because it's authentic self-awareness. But if we want to play the fake game, have fun. It's going to be a long journey, and people are going to leave you all the time. They won't stick with you. That's the thing. Now I'm preaching. But now I'm going to talk to you guys about something. Let's go mindset real fast here. How many of us struggle with procrastination? Let's talk about, instead of thinking tactical, and let's stop thinking about what's the new nugget of gold knowledge. Here's the thing. Procrastination, let's reframe this in your mind right now. The pressure you put on yourself, I'm a procrastinator. You're creating an identity of who you are, which is a negative viewpoint, which is not authentic, because you have adopted the belief that procrastination is bad. So now you're a bad person. But I'm trying to work on it. I'm so sorry. Listen, everyone, procrastination is your body telling you what you should not be doing. It is the most beautiful gift from God that you feel, why am I not doing it? Because it's not your job. I can guarantee you 9 out of 10 agents watching this right now, their CRM is not up to speed. But it was at one point. I didn't keep it up to speed because it's not your job. That is an administrator's job. You are a service and salesperson, and you're doing someone else's job. The procrastination has been screaming at you to outsource, hire this out, and get it done. My kids never procrastinate. If we're going to Disneyland, they can have their whole rooms clean. The house has to be clean. They got to do their homework. They are unbelievable when they say, I got to get to Disneyland. And the thing is, if it's no, you got to be tied to the right goal. We got to be tied to the right goal, and procrastination will speak to you on that. The next one is, how many people here struggle with procrastination? Do you struggle with procrastination? You know what that is? Perfectionism. You know what that is? It's an amazing, amazing thing. Let's redefine this. And I'm not spin doctoring it. I am absolutely serious. Perfection is amazing. For people that build rockets. People that, operate on my brain. Someone doing a heart transplant. Kind of want to be perfect, right? Real estate agents are not freaking brain doctors. They don't have to be perfect. But so then it's not needed. You know why? Perfection is fear of judgment. That's all it is. It's my image I'm trying to create. It's feeling embarrassed. It's avoiding negative feelings. Do you know what it is? Amateur hour in business. Complete amateur hour. Perfection slows you down. Perfection takes you away from actually understanding what's working and what's not. You need to feel bad. You need to understand what's not working. It's the speed of execution that changes everything, and perfectionism slows you down. Netflix has become Netflix. Do you know why? Because they tested and tried at 100 miles an hour till they figured out how this thing worked. They talked about, if you watch their documentary, they talked about how they tried everything to be perfect, but it was so slow, they realized we're never going to get to this company we want to get to because they tried things that took too long to execute. They left spelling errors after that. They had bad videos, unedited. They slapped things up to figure out what is actually going to work, and they got faster than anybody else, and they built Netflix. It's actually one of the most slow, white belt business things is perfectionism, unless you're a brain doctor. Change the way you look at things, and the things you look at change. Wayne Dyer is one of my favorite guys. So now let's think about this. We're going to have a few mindset shifts right now. First mindset shift, keep your clients for life rather than focusing on getting new ones. This is the biggest problem in the industry, is we're constantly trying to find new ones. But what about the people that love you? Do you understand the business model? If you have 500 transactions in your life that never ever leave you, you will have at a 10% referral rate, you're getting 50 deals a year. And what's the budget of marketing? Almost nothing. So you understand your marketing budget drops, your referrals go up. But what's the fact is, how do you keep them for life? That should be your obsession. That's the switch in creating a successful business. The next one is this, the 15-30 rule. The 15-30 rule is for every single agent, new to old. Your pipeline, I'm not talking crappy leads. I'm talking your pipeline needs to be between 15 and 30 leads at all times, and you will get 2 to 4 deals every month. I promise you. But here's the thing. Those leads have to be committed to you. They're not crap leads. It's, I'm going to buy from you next year, Ben. Guaranteed. Hey, I want to buy a house right now. So in 18 months, you got to say that my 15-30, if I have 15 to 30 leads ready to buy within the next 18 months, you will always, always, always have business. But if you're there serving all your clients and you're not making sure that your 15-30 is right, making sure you got 15 to 30 qualified leads that are going to buy in 18 months, you're going to create massive feast and famine. And the reason that's important is because you're going to go serving and you're going to have no time, you're not going to scale, and then you'll forget to prospect. Then you'll prospect, then you'll try to scale. Next one. I'm going to skip that one for time. Let's do this. Connection hack number 3. Chase the referral, not the sale. This is one of the things, it's like when I train agents, I can't tell them do this, do that. I have to change their behavior. And so how I did this one time is when you meet Any human being that wants to work with you, instantly in your head say, what am I going to buy them for a gift? Why does that change the behavior? Because the conversation is going to be like, hey, what do you do for fun? Do you travel? Do you collect things? Do you have toys? Do you have kids? What's your favorite thing? You like bikes? I'm hunting for a gift. And what happens is it conversationally trains all the agents to look for connection. Now, if you're doing it as a strategy, you're still a schmuck. Because what's going to happen is you're going to get connection, but you don't have connection. It has to be that you're honestly interested in that person. It can't be mirroring or strategy. I know them all. It has to be a genuine connection. Now, here's why. How many people in your life get you? How many people can most people can't even put all 5 fingers up. How many people in your life get you? Butt ugly naked and superstar all the way through. Do they get you? How many? Think about that for 1 second. Usually it's 1, 2, 0, maybe 5. If you've done some personal work, it's probably 10. I've never seen higher. How many people do you know? 1,000? 500? See, our ratio is really weird, but you got to understand if you're like that, so is your clients. How do we get onto that list? How do we get to the list that says, I get you? What if it's like, do you know who gets me? My mom, my sister, and my real estate agent. Well, that's a pretty good, cool place to be. That takes human development, emotional intelligence, and your own self-worth and your own work you need to do on your heart. That's how you keep a client for the rest of your life. Chase the referral. I had so much business in my first year that was from referrals. My first year, I like lots and lots of referral business because of the connection game, because I was honestly trying to connect. What we call that in my world is I see you, I hear you, I love you. That's my strategy. If you can know that I hear you and see you and love you, did you know that's the lack that I needed as a child? Did you know my story can resonate with any human being? Because every single person didn't get the love they needed. What if we could give that to people? That's called adding meaning to your business. It's not about the sales, guys. It's about helping people in their lives. And that's the most beautiful thing you can ever do. And here's the model. So I had some devastating moments in my life. One was my wife wanted to leave me. And I was rocking. I was doing date nights. I was doing all these things. And it just started falling apart. And she says, I wanted to leave you. And I sat down and I just went, what's going on? You have everything you want. And that's when I had this huge moment where I went, oh man, I totally screwed up. I gave all the right things on paper, but I didn't give her what she wanted. And I asked her, what do you want? Like, what do you want? You got all this stuff. Life's good. She was, I just want you. I just want you? As a man that was insecure, has a little man syndrome, loves to drop names and all this bullshit back in the day because I needed to fill my own self-worth. I was busy trying to prove to the world that I had value. And guess what? I was doing that with my wife. I was doing the dishes. I was doing what I needed to do, taking care of the family, booking holidays. She wanted none of it. And that's the same thing with your clients. Doing a great job is the entranceway. It's the minimum. The reality was she just wanted me. And the only way, that was a moment where I went, I better look at my life. And I remember leaving rehab. And rehab, I remember laying there thinking about it as I was crying that day, thinking, holy shit, I just wanted a family that loved me back in the day when I left rehab. That was so simple. And I messed it all up. And that was the day I thought we need to change these things. We can't just chase the money, because I was filling this gap. That was the day I realized I had already won the game. Today, when I approach anything I do, even standing on the stage, I don't give a shit how it turns out. You know why? Because I've won the game. When I'm chasing a client or a big deal, it's great, it's cool, and yeah, you bet I want to hit home runs. You bet I want to be the top of the game, but it is not ever going to be in front of my wife and kids and the life that I want to live. Ever. I don't give a shit. So when I walk around this world, people can come to me, I'm not chasing anymore. But guess what? In that change in mindset and in that confidence growth that I found myself, guess what? We built a model. We built a real estate model to build a real estate business that would not just give you money, but would give you time, freedom, and meaning. So when you're building a scaled business, the thing is, you want scale. The whole industry teaches you this. Every single real estate coach on the planet in real estate right now, and hopefully it changes, real estate coaches are sales coaches. They're not business coaches. They're not asking you about your P&L statement, your financial structures. They're not asking you about scale and systems a lot of times. They're just saying, how many calls you making? What are your accountability? Calls you're making, accountability. That's white belt. And it serves you to a point. And it's really, really, really important until you're too busy. And then guess what happens? It falls apart. So what we've built here is you want freedom and meaning. And what that means is this. First of all, this part of the whole business right here, hire an assistant, transaction systems, marketing systems, buyer and seller systems. This whole section is what we call scaling intelligently, and everything in this area here, but 90% can be done by someone else. You got to become masterful at running a team, but the team can be one admin and one buyer's agent. It's super, super simple once you figure out the steps. But if you're doing this stuff here, you're not doing this and this. This part is communication, human connection, world-class follow-up, insulating through thoughtfulness. How many times do you think, man, I wish I could just be more thoughtful with my clients. I'm just too busy. I used to give amazing gifts and I just don't anymore. That's because you're stuck here. You got to build out this into systems so you can stay in the serving. This is where you get money and meaning. It blows their minds and they stay with you and you're making tons of money. The thing is, though, why that's not happening is this circle here. This is mindset and emotional intelligence. If you don't have a business owner's mindset, I don't care if you're brand new in the business, you better get ready, because once you get over 100K, 150K, you need systems. You absolutely need to start putting systems in place or you're going to get stuck. And business owner is who can solve the problem. If you're doing the same thing for more than 2 months and not getting it done, it's a who problem, not a how problem. The next one is your energy. How are you showing up? When you're a 6 out of 10 energy, how good are you? That's a leadership training right there. You want someone to be with you and train and be with you? You want to lead people? You need good energy. Energy audit is what we look at in our program. We look at, here's the deal. What's my thinking like? Who am I around? And what tasks am I doing? All of those areas are draining. We need to work through that to get your energy back. The next one is relationship with yourself. If I put your words up on a screen, would I call you an asshole? And if you're an asshole in your head saying, no, why don't you do this? I should be better. I'm such a procrastinator. You should work harder. Blah, 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 blah. Then you sit down with a with a CMA, and that client goes, why should I use you? Oh, I'm awesome and I'm the best option. Bullshit, you don't believe that. If we don't fix that belief system, the internal energy, you will have this weird feeling around you, and people will say, I don't know what it is about you. You seem so great. I just chose another agent. That's what happens because your inner game, the relationship with yourself, if you're massive pressure, you're hard on yourself, maybe a little too much, that's coming through with a weird energy. I promise you. So we have to look at, and if you want to lead people, oh my goodness, the relationship with yourself is everything. And the last thing is this, on this model, GCI is not the goal. How many business planning seminars have you taken? And they're like, how many deals do you want? Let's do 50. 50 deals, and then they work backwards on all the activity to try to get 50 deals, but nobody asks why 50. My question is this, we need to align the life we want with the goals of our business. And then the business is designed to get the life you want, not just to make money. If you don't have your goals aligned, your business will not serve you. Your business will absolutely enslave you. This is absolutely important. The last thing I want you to do is think about your future for a second. When we think about our future, we think about two outcomes. Every single one of us do this. You look at one side going, holy shit, we're going to crush it this year. I can see it. I just finished a whole cross-Canada tour. When I had that idea, I sat back and I thought, man, I'm going to fill rooms. Every city, they're going to flock to me. They're going to come in and I'm just going to put a word out and it's going to fill up. Holy crap. That was one vision. The other vision was nobody's going to come. So we always have that, I'm going to do so great. But there's always the disaster vision. We have two at all times. But the choice that you can make is that you can actually have this future. So what I look at this is I like to look at 1, 2, and 3 year futures and kind of envision. And you always get the two visions. But the one thing that we need to be scared of is something called drift. See, drift is actually the most expensive thing in your business. It's a lot like working out. You stop working out one day, you have a bit of ice cream one day, no big deal. Super easy to get back to the gym. But you do that 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Do you know what happens? You're drifting and it's very hard to get back out. Time is the one thing that compounds drift. The longer you wait to fix something, what happens is the harder it is to get back. If you don't take action, make informed decisions, and correct your mistakes, you will just slowly drift and it's going to pick up speed. The green line is just a function of the right decision to the right actions. It is absolutely simple to stay on the green line. And that's the whole game here. But right now, I can promise you, right now, you are closest to that green line as you ever will be in your whole career today. Wherever you are here, this is as close as it is. You know how easy it is to jump back to the green line right this second? It's actually very easy. And this is why we built this model, because the model helps you get back on. And our job, our simple job at our company is very simple. Help you stay on the green line. If we can help you stay on the green line, moment by moment, constantly progressing with 1% wins, always moving forward, the results are absolutely incredible. We don't need to be nitros. We need to be consistent and build actual companies that sustain the life that we want. And so today, I'm finishing with this. If you're watching on a laptop, you can scan this. If you're sitting on your computer, I'm sure we can put a link down in. But what we're going to do is anyone that's watching this video, anyone that resonates, okay? Don't waste our time if it doesn't resonate. If it does resonate, what we're going to do is a 20-minute call. It's like a friendly interrogation, because sometimes you have the right pieces, but they're put together wrong. And sometimes if we can just take a look at it, maybe you're doing something that you should be doing, but there's 2 or 3 things that need to be done first. We can bring clarity to the highest leverage behavior so we can get you over the hump. It's a 20-minute gift. It is not a sales call. It is 100%. Take a look at your business and you're going to get massive value. That's a gift from us. Anyways, I just so much appreciate, Randy Dyck, Phil Hahn, and the crew that always, we've become good friends. And I just want to say thank you for the time. I'm honored to be here, and that's all I got.
Awesome, Ben. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What I love about you is that you help us scale our business. But more importantly, this business kills relationships.
100%, man.
And you're all about the relationship.
Yeah.
You've shared your story about your wife, your family. I've had a similar story in my life and how important our personal lives and our families are. And this business crushes them in so many ways and 100%. So many times. Yeah. So I really appreciate that. And if you are looking to scale your business, I mean really scale it, but also have a life, a life that's worth living, you got to connect with Ben. He's the real deal. Thank you, Ben.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.